Hey, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up? Gracious good morning to you good people. It's your girl KB. You know what I do and you know why I do it. It is Tuesday morning. It's 2:33 in the a.m. and it's February 10th. I have a story time for you. You know, when I first started recording, I said I was going to keep it real, raw, 100, and autobiographical. And I've done so thus far. And mind you, I started recording during the wonderful time of COVID. Okay, so it's been some years. A lot of videos under the bridge, a lot of different facets and machinations under the bridge. But this is a story time. When I first moved to Cali, I moved with my New York sensibilities, my hood, and all my strong blackness into cowboy country. Yeah, it was a culture shock. I mean, literally cowboy country. My New York, back in the day, it was a shoe brand called Crayons that came in different colors, and they had that clear plastic soles, and it was the Soul Train kind of urban cowboy kind of look. It was early onset of hip hop, but we still hadn't let go of, the edgy kind of club kid kind of scene. So yeah, I had my New York fashions in cowboy country. I want you to think about that for a minute. Black in wasn't quite a city yet, full of cowboys, full of people proudly proclaiming their Okies, farmer kids who had this dislike for Latinos. It was a very interesting time, okay? So this was the early 80s. So I moved to Cali in 79. So we're going into the early 80s. Now, the voters that controlled the state were primarily in Southern Cal, Orange County, that were wealthy, white, Christian, and ultra-conservative. Saying all that to say, when we got here, my mother belonged to one of the biggest churches in the city that she was living in. And the pastor was from the OC. And that's Orange County, y'all. And he was a firm believer in what I now recognize as white Christian nationalism. Now, imagine being a black member of a church that was fundamentally white Christian nationalist. During that time, the music was what they called contemporary Christian. And one of the singers was one of the nationally recognized singers. Let's see, there was David Meese. I want to say the name Stephen Green, Amy Grant, Stephen Curtis Chapman. Notice that all the people I named are white. Sandy Patty, and then there were three black names that kind of stood out, but the most recognized were Ron Canoli, rest in peace, brother, and what is that brother's name? I can't think of it off the top of my head right now. It was also Andre Crouch, but Andre Crouch was edgy. Imagine Andre Crouch being edgy. Yeah. So those were the singers. And I mention this because Sandy Patty just came out with a statement saying she's a Republican, she's a proud Republican, but she's chastising President Trump for posting a picture depicting the Obamas as apes. And yesterday, when I saw the story, my initial reaction was, excuse me, my initial reaction was, good for you. Somebody, a woman is speaking out. And there's a couple of women who speak out. Now, there's one that I just absolutely love, who is basically reading White Christian Nationalism for Filth, Monty Mader. She's on IG. You owe yourself a favor to look her up. So, Sandy Patty comes out and chastises. She doesn't condemn. She chastises. Don't do it again, bad boy. You can do better. You know, it's one of those gentle parenting moments kind of deals. No matter how abhorrent the kid's behavior is, we're just going to gentle parent through everything. She says you can do better. And like I said, my first reaction was, yes, a woman is speaking out. Finally, a Christian person who has some level of recognition is speaking out. Then I thought about that thing. Then I thought about that statement. It took a picture. This is where you draw the line in the sand. Not all the other stuff that you saw. A picture. Mind you, the picture is pretty awful. Pretty racist. Blatantly racist. But all the other stuff that you've seen didn't move you to speak out. And I'm going to say shame on the collective. Not just you. Shame on the collective. We all run around talking about the teachings of Jesus, the teachings of Christ, the Beatitudes. But when the Roman guard come around, nobody knows anything. We all suffer from Scooby-Doo-itis. Notice I said we, because there's a whole bunch of people that ain't saying a damn thing. But they're sitting in a pew every Sunday. Or standing in a pulpit every Sunday. And reminding us how we should turn the other cheek or just get over it. That part. Yeah, shame on the collective. So, there's my thoughts starting early this morning. You know, I started off with story time and finished up with some of the things that have shaped my thinking and touched my psyche and have caused me to speak out, speak up, represent. And the reason that I do is that I know that there's some babies behind me, some of whom don't even recognize their blackness other than to say that they're black members of their family. You know, they don't know what paved the way for them to even be. See, my blackness is not something I pick up or put down. It's something that I wear 24/7. It's the banner that goes before me 24/7 because I remember who paved the way and how they did it. And I'm not going to debate whether somebody's leaning into a hard R or an AH, you know, because that word period has the sounds of hounds, has blood on it, has beatings attached to it, has lynchings attached to it. Wake up. And when you do, stay woke.